So we got big DC news, and it's a super big deal, but it's also like potentially very telling for what is going on with DC, right? Okay, so the Batman Part 2. We got our first details about the plot, the characters, the script coming from one Jeff Snyder, which by the way, did you guys know that Matt Reeves follows Jeff Snyder on social media? Look at this. It's crazy. Followed by Matt Reeves. The fuck? Jeff, what the fuck? Anyway. Okay, so Jeff Snyder put in his newsletter late last night, the Batman Part 2 to shoot this spring. Sources say the script introduces Robin and really goes for it in a big way. This is from Jeff's newsletter, which, by the way, I subscribe to Jeff's newsletter. I recommend you do it as well. We got to support the people in the space that are actually breaking news, that are actually, like, unafraid of the studios, and that also, you know, post bikini pics on their Twitter and are absolutely goddamn ridiculous. So I love Jeff as is, and so I support him via his newsletter. This morning, David Zaslav sent a letter to Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders announcing that DC Studios boss James Gunn is already preparing to write the next installment of the Super Family, setting off a wave of fresh speculation about what exactly Gunn is working on. Zaslav also mentioned the 10-year vision for the DC universe includes shows like The Penguin, and he confirmed that the Batman Part 2 will finally start filming this spring ahead of its planned release, theaters October 2027. What? What the fuck? I sat down with a well-placed source this week, Matt Reeves, and asked about the Batman sequel, and this person told me the script was worth the wait. They described it as a big swing for director Matt Reeves and his co-writer Mattson Tomlin, and said that the duo is really going for it with the uncompromising sequel, which is expected to be as dark as its 2022 predecessor, which grossed $772 million worldwide. They also mentioned that the character of Robin is a part of the script, which should pique the interest of agents across Hollywood. I didn't press for too many more details, but it sounded like everyone at DC Studios is extremely pleased with the direction Reeves is going in with the Batman Part 2 now that the script has been turned in. Okay. So let's talk about the basics here before talking about the elephant in the fucking room, okay? Number one, it's super cool that it's worth the wait. We probably all expected that, man. I mean, I think Matt, you know, he takes his time with his scripts, but they're usually very good, very complex. So that's good. They're really going for it. That's interesting. I wonder what that means. In what sense are they going for it? Is it like spectacle? Is it psychological? It seems as though you're definitely going to get a lot of darkness. There were even some rumors that the first Batman film was way too dark and that DC pulled back on some of the mental health stuff with Bruce Wayne himself. Because it's like, you know, from the corporation's perspective, it's hard to sell Batmobiles and shit when the movie's trying to do like a deconstruction of Batman as a mentally ill product of society, right? It's like those two things don't necessarily match together. But it is interesting that it's going to be super dark like that. That's cool. This Robin thing is awkward. Okay, it's awkward. And I wonder if Jeff, I mean, look, does Jeff know that this is awkward? Like he didn't couch it in that way. It's not like he's necessarily bringing this up, but so here's the problem, chat, and we'll talk about this now. The only thing we really know about Gunn's plan for Batman is that it involves Robin, and not just Robin, but a very specific Robin. It involves Damian Wayne. It involves Damian Wayne, who's obviously not the first, second, or even third Robin, I don't think. He is a Robin that happens after Dick has aged and has become Nightwing. So, you know, years and years into the future. And it is, of course, Batman's biological son, right? So Damian Wayne, biological son. That's literally all we know about the plans for the DCU Batman. That's basically it. That's all we know. Okay? So can you imagine if you're James Gunn, okay, and, you haven't read the script, right? You haven't read the Batman script. You're hearing about it. Other people have apparently read it. There's rumors out there, this, that, second, and the third. You haven't read it. And then all of a sudden, you read the script, and this motherfucker, Matt Reeves, is doing Robin in the Batman. Like, look. One of two things is going on here, okay? Number one, it could just be the case that they're merging. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's not that surprising. In fact, maybe Robin was put into Reeves' Batman because they do want to eventually bring those characters together, and maybe it'll be Damian Wayne. Maybe it'll be Dick. And then we'll see a time jump, and then Dick will be aged up, and then you have like the establishment of that relationship, and you have, Pattinson as the DCU Batman in the future, maybe older Dick, and then Damian. Okay, that's the first possibility. The other possibility here, though, is that they are not working together, and if they're not working together, I got to tell you, man, if I was James Gunn and I read that shit, I would be fucking furious. I would be furious. Like, you're telling me that not only do we have another Batman that's already successful, and they're going to just continue doing this as I'm building a whole DC universe, kind of like without fucking Batman, because we don't want to have two Batmans at the same time. Gunn himself said we don't want to have those movies released within the same calendar year. He just said that. He was like, yeah, you probably wouldn't want Batman Part 2 and the DCU Batman to be in the same calendar year. And yet, Gunn continues to play kind of cagey about whether or not the merger will actually happen. Will Matt Reeves' Batman be the DCU Batman? Are they figuring that out? So, I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Because I've seen a lot of people look at this and they're like, oh, they're obviously merging. And the reason people are walking away from this thinking that is like, because there's no fucking way they would do two Batmans and two Robins at the same time. That's insanity. Like, that is legitimately crazy. So, look, maybe I get accused, and I think just in the fandom in general, we get accused of making mountains over molehills, of applying narrative to things when there's not a narrative there, maybe dramatizing things. I gotta be honest, I don't know any other way to look at this than it's either they're working together or they're really, really not working together, right? Because, dude, if I was Gunn, I'll just be like, Matt, I feel you, you got this big script. Can you just not do Robin? What if you just didn't do Robin? What if you just didn't have Robin a part of this thing? Because that feels crazy to me. That just feels like the worst possible way that you're gonna fucking do it. The only thing that would be worse is if in this report from Jeff Snyder, it was Matt Reeves wants to do his version of Damian Wayne. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my fucking God, bro. That's the only way it could be worse. So I just think it's really come down to they are either tricking us all and really working together, or they are really not working together. And there's all these little things, right? So I'm reminded of when Matt just dipped out from the fucking Superman preview. Do you remember the comments Gunn made? And when you actually see the comments, it's not necessarily as bad, but he's like, I haven't read it yet. I want to try to read it on the plane, but I might fall asleep and all this. It's little things. It just feels messy. It feels like there's a little bit of subtext. Maybe we're reading too far into it. Maybe everybody's just stressed and trying to figure it out. But dude, Matt Reeves shows up for the Superman premiere and then he dipped the fuck out, didn't do a single interview, didn't answer a single question. He was just like, okay, see ya, And it's What does that mean? I don't know. And look, here's the other thing. Like, I personally believe that Superman is doing exactly what it needed to do. I think it is operating well enough, considering the context, to warrant more and to make James Gunn the guy. I believe that. And I don't even like James Gunn, but that just is what it is. Like, the movie, to me, in my objective opinion, is doing numbers good enough to make him the guy, to make this the plan, and to do it. However, I gotta say, if I were Matt Reeves and I'm looking at the box office here and I'm like, this movie's not even gonna make as much as mine, and I came out pretty close to lockdown, if I were Matt Reeves, I can totally understand. I'd be like, my Penguin show got Emmys. Like, dude, they are in a pickle. Like, if they are actually fighting behind the scenes, they both have legitimate arguments to be the DC. Like, it's not like Matt, like, what's Matt, like, seriously, who could argue against Matt? Right? Like, his movie legitimately is made more money than Superman. His show was more successful than Gunn's shows. Like, he deadass has every right to say, no, it should be me. At the very least, it should be us separately. You know what I mean? And to be fair, like, let me ask you this. I think the answer to this is obvious, but who needs who more, right? Who needs who more? Like, another way to think of that is, like, who has the leverage? I mean, I think Matt Reeves has all the leverage. Essentially, Matt, like, can force Gunn to either not do Batman for a long time or to try to compete with a already operating successful Batman. That's incredible leverage. And it's clear that Reeves does not need Gunn. His stuff was already working. Gunn is working too, though. Like, Gunn has a strong argument. Like, Superman is a very big success for them. Here's the way I would say it. I think Gunn needs Reeves much more than Reeves needs Gunn. But I think DC probably needs this to happen more than anybody. I think the fans need this. I think the company needs this. I think Matt should play ball. At the end of the day, I really do think Matt should just play ball. If he doesn't, I will not think ill of him. I totally understand it. I think he has every right to do that. He carved this whole path. Totally get it. But at one point, Matt was going to do a Ben Affleck Batman. He was willing to play ball with the old regime. I mean, maybe after the success, he's just less willing to. I don't understand exactly what's going on. But, like, dude, I think the obvious move here for the fans, for the companies, for the sake of the universe, is to merge them. I really think that's the move. But at the same time, like, I'm like a broken record here, but every time I think that, it's like, but also, yeah, Matty Reeves has every fucking right to just stand 10 toes down and just be like, I don't care about any of this corporate consideration. I don't care about any of this fucking bullshit fan bullshit. I'm in it to make my vision, and I do not want to compromise on that. Like, I completely understand that. So if that's what's happening, they're in a fucking pickle, dude. Can you imagine? And then the whole thing is, like, from Warner Brothers' perspective, right? Like, they just want it to all seem like it's all the same thing and everybody's getting along. It's such a pickle, bro. It's such a fucking pickle. And the other thing that's really funny about it, and I shouldn't say it's funny because, like, you know, it's a very serious thing. But the other thing that's, like, really funny about this is, maybe I shouldn't say it. I just, DC has an advantage over Marvel in the fact that Warner Brothers purchased the entire catalog years ago. And so they have access to all the different characters, okay? Marvel does not have that. Marvel had to like sort of sell off parts of itself license-wise in the 90s and slowly acquire them back. And they're still having issues with that with Spider-Man, Hulk, distribution, all sorts of stuff. What should be a clear advantage for DC, insofar as Warner Brothers has all the characters, is actually not able to be a benefit of them because of this situation. Like, dead ass. Like, I don't know, man. Like, somebody should probably break all this down to Matt and just be like, dude, look, he could just be like, I don't fucking care. But at the same time, like, you should probably just hear it all, Matt. Like, you should just hear this all because, I don't know, man. At what point could you convince him? If he's not convinced at this point, I don't know. But goddamn, dude, DC should have the ability to just go. And yet they're not. The irony being, of course, Gunn had no problem doing that to Snyder, right? Like, he had no problem being, because Snyder would have been willing to continue doing his shit. And he had no problem being like, nope. But for whatever reason, they can't do that to Batman. I guess just because of the $770 million. Holy shit, man. It's crazy. Crazy. So, yeah, that's the latest, guys. And I think this story is going to make some waves. I wonder if we'll get any clarification on it over the weekend or the next couple of days. We'll probably talk about this next week, man. Crazy times for DC, crazy times for Marvel, man. What do you guys make of this? What do you make of this?